What if Zeke had captured Eren during the Battle of Shiganshina? At the time, Zeke seemed like just another warrior, fighting alongside Reiner and Bertholdt. But in Season 4, we learned the truth. Zeke had his own agenda, the Euthanasia Plan. During the time skip, he set that plan into motion, forging ties with Hizuru, sending the volunteers to Paradis, and preparing for the raid on Liberio. But none of those preparations were in place in Season 3, and yet, Zeke came so close to capturing Eren. So what if he'd succeeded? What would have happened to Eren, to Paradis, and to the world? I'm your host, TheNenHunter, and in this video, we'll explore these questions and more. The first thing we must cover is how Eren is captured. In this version of the Battle of Shiganshina, Zeke notices Levi flanking him and takes him out from a distance. With Levi gone, Zeke wipes out the remaining scouts, then climbs atop Walmeria. From that position, he throws pieces of the walls at the scouts. At the same time, Bertholdt swats Armin aside instead of burning him alive. As a result, Eren's ambush fails, and Armin is killed instantly. Now, the remaining scouts are facing Zeke, Bertholdt, and Peak. To make things worse, Eren is too exhausted to transform, and all of their horses are dead. In the end, the scouts are wiped out and Eren is captured. And now, we can begin this new storyline. Before the warriors leave Shiganshina, Bertholdt and Reiner petition Zeke to let them recover Annie before returning home. Zeke briefly considers it as he wants to speak with Eren alone, and the other warriors attacking without him makes it easier. But he knows they'll expect him to join the operation, which makes it too risky, so he refuses and tells them until the coordinate is safely in Marley, nothing else matters. During the journey back to Marley, Zeke keeps his distance from Eren, as he's scared accidental contact could release the Founder's power. Eren lashes out at Reiner and Bertholdt again and again, calling them traitors, monsters, and cowards, but is consistently ignored. Once the warriors arrive in Marley, they're immediately celebrated as heroes. They've not only captured the Founder, but in the eyes of Marley, they've eliminated the rumbling threat once and for all. Zeke's reputation skyrockets. He was already seen as the boy wonder, the warrior who could command titans, but now his success has elevated him to nearly the same level as Willie Tiber. Zeke uses his newfound influence to protect Eren. He persuades Marley's military that executing Eren is premature. His argument is simple. Until Marley can understand how a non-royal Eldian has activated the Founder, they can't afford to kill him. The military leaders agree. For the time being, Eren's life is spared. Instead of execution, Eren is kept alive in a secure facility where he undergoes blood tests and physical exams. Marleyan scientists work to determine what makes Eren different, and if it could be recreated. Zeke visits Eren when he can, hoping to bring him over to his side, but Eren rejects him, blaming him for the death of his friends and everything that's happened to the island. So every time they speak, Eren threatens to kill him, but Zeke is never discouraged. He believes that with time, he can undo Grisha's brainwashing, and makes it his mission to do just that. While Zeke focuses on Eren, Reiner and Bertholdt petition Magath for permission to return to Paradis and rescue Annie. To their surprise, Magath informs them that Marley is already planning a full-scale invasion to seize the island's natural resources. Reiner and Bertholdt won't be going alone. They'll get their chance as part of the main force. Reiner then brings up Historia. He explains how she's connected to the royal family and could be important in unlocking the Founder's power, but his real reason is personal. He made a promise to Ymir to deliver Historia her letter, and now he wants to make sure that Marley does not accidentally kill her during the invasion. Thanks to his suggestion, capturing Historia is added to Marley's military objectives. When Zeke learns about Marley's plan, he begins to panic. If Marley captures Historia, Historia and runs tests with her and Eren. They might uncover how to bypass the King's vow. In the following military meeting, Zeke pushes them to reconsider. He warns that Paradis's pure titans will inflict heavy losses on the invasion force, and if Marley takes too many casualties, their enemies will take advantage. So instead, they should delay the invasion, focus on unlocking the Founder first, then use its power to pacify the island. It works, briefly. Marley agrees to hold off for a few weeks, but they still want Paradis's resources, so they send Peak to scout the island. When she returns, her report is clear. There are no pure titans left on Paradis. With that confirmation, Marley sees no reason to delay any longer, so Zeke's only options are to participate and kill Historia himself, or to act now and free Eren. Zeke chooses the latter. Before we explain Zeke's plan to free Eren, let's look at how the warriors defeating the scouts has impacted the world. In the original timeline, Marley's defeat exposed their weakness and the Mid-East Alliance took full advantage. But now, Marley has won. The Founder is in their hands. Their image as a global superpower remains intact, and no nation dares to challenge them directly. Marley, for their part, is careful to maintain the illusion, as in reality, the Founder's power is still locked behind the King's vow. Meanwhile, Paradis unravels. When the scouts don't return from their expedition, the garrison sends a search party to Shiganshina and confirms what many feared. The entire Survey Corps has been wiped out. Back in chapter 70, we learned that Zachary had raised taxes in order to fund the scouts' expedition, and that it was never sustainable. If they failed to retake Walmeria, the government would go bankrupt, and that's exactly what happens here. To make things worse, the people turn against Historia and begin calling for King Fritz to return. Eventually, the gun-owning nobles would revolt against the higher taxes, and that leads to the revolutionary government being overthrown. King Fritz is reinstated. Zachary, Pixis, Historia, and other high-ranking collaborators are imprisoned, and in a final irony, Zachary is tortured using the same device he once used to punish the nobles. Jumping back to Zeke, he begins working with the anti-Marleyan volunteers to rescue Eren. First, they quietly distribute wine laced with Zeke's spinal fluid to Eldians living near the facility holding Eren. Next, Zeke reaches out to the Mid-East Alliance and leaks intelligence on Marley's upcoming invasion of Paradis. But more importantly, he tells them the truth. Marley does not know how to use the Founder. The rumbling is still locked away. The message is clear. If the Mid-East Alliance wants to stop Marley from dominating the world, they need to act now. Lastly, Zeke convinces Magath he must stay behind from the invasion to defend the homeland. And with that, the trap is set. Days after Marley's invasion force departs for Paradis, the Mid-East Alliance launches their surprise attack. Their superior navy destroys its Marleyan counterparts, and with the warriors deployed overseas, Marley is outmatched in ground engagements as well. But the Mid-East Alliance isn't just trying to weaken Marley. They have a specific target, Eren Yeager. Zeke fed them intel on his location, but before their forces can reach the city where Eren is held, Zeke makes his move. Outside the city, he lets out his scream. Instantly, all the Eldians who consumed his spinal fluid transform into titans and plunge the city into chaos. Using this distraction, Yelena leads the anti-Marleyan volunteers into the facility. They overwhelm the guards, extract Eren, and retreat before reinforcements can arrive. Eventually, Marley regains control and eliminates the titans, but by then, Zeke and the volunteers are gone. They vanish into hiding, and it's here that Zeke begins what he believes is his real mission, rescuing Eren from Grisha's ideology. Eren still resents Zeke, and he's consumed by hatred over what happened to his friends, but his will to resist is gone. His time in captivity and the shock of seeing the outside world caused him to become withdrawn, nihilistic. He questioned everything, why anyone believed in him, and why anyone even struggles in this cruel world. Right now, his mental state is even worse than it was in the chapel, where he begged Historia to kill him. So when Zeke explains the Euthanasia Plan, Eren does not push back. The idea resonates with him, not because he's convinced, but because he no longer sees a better alternative. Meanwhile, Marley's invasion force reaches Paradis. Reiner and Bertholdt play a minimal role in the fighting. Instead, it's Marley's airships that devastate the island, wiping out most of the garrison and military police in the opening assault. The cart and jaw titan along with Marley's ground soldiers handle the rest. Without the rumbling, Paradis stands no chance. The island falls quickly. Marley and soldiers spread across the island searching for Annie and Historia. Eventually, they find both. Horko uses the jaw titan to shatter Annie's crystal and free her. Reiner delivers Ymir's letter to Historia, just as he promised. After that, Historia is taken to Marley, where she's held for titan experiments. With the island subdued, most of Marley's forces, including the warriors, are recalled to defend the homeland. The warrior unit has lost Zeke's beast titan, but they've regained Annie's female titan and never lost Bertholdt's colossal titan. Together, that's more than enough for Marley to overpower the Alliance, even after the surprise attack. While Marley battles the Mid-East Alliance, Zeke and Eren enter the Pats, and finally, Eren unlocks Grisha's remaining memories, and it changes everything. Up until now, Eren had supported the Euthanasia Plan, not because he believed in it, but because he could not see another way. But then he sees a glimpse of the rumbling, and in that moment, Eren realizes he doesn't have to die quietly. He can destroy the world that took everything from him. From here, the events in the Pats unfold just as they did in the original timeline. Eren betrays Zeke. He commands Grisha to kill Frieda. He reaches Ymir, and then he unleashes the Wall Titans. But this time, there's no alliance to stop him. In the end, only a fraction of humanity survives. The Eldians on Paradis and the Marleyan soldiers stationed there during the invasion. But without Mikasa killing Eren, the curse of Ymir is never lifted. The power of Titans remains, and with the rest of the world gone, the battle over that power continues, this time on a single island. But what do you guys think? How does Zeke capturing Eren in Season 3 change the story? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.